the top of the lane, and riveting Reason desperate to hold on, but Uncle Mo is breathing down his neck, and Uncle Mo is let loose, and look at him stride away. Uncle Mo, big. He's opening up. Boys on Toscanova is second, but this is an overwhelming performance by Uncle Mo, the son of Indian Charlie. John Velasquez just got to point him in the right direction, takes a look back. Uncle Mo, superb in the juvenile. It'll be Boys at Toscanova in second. Romance finished up third, and Biondetti ran on fourth.
Wait till you start hearing the hype on Uncle Mo now. Uncle Mo now a perfect 3 for 3. The most impressive effort we've seen here in the 2 days of the
McKinsey takes over. Mongolian Groom goes with him. War of Will is faded to third. Vino Rosso begins to rev it up from fourth on the outside, and he's storming toward the front runners now. Code of Honor is next, and Higher Power is closing on the outside. And it is McKinsey off the turn in front. Vino Rosso alongside. These two at the 16th pole. Vino Rosso has taken the lead, and it's a vintage performance by Vino Rosso in the Breeders' Cup Classic. McKinsey was second, Higher Power was third, and Elite was fourth. It was Vino Rosso and Irad Ortiz. Second, Oxbow has given way to third at the rail. Vijak is fourth, and they're into the stretch, and it's Verrazano coming to the 8th pole with a 3-length lead. Power Broker is second, Oxbow pick at the litter, then Micromanage, but Verrazano is pulling away. And Verrazano and John Velasquez have blown away their competition. They rump in the Haskell. Power Broker was second. It's very close for third. Oxbow or Micromanage.
Verrazano crushes in the 46th running of the Grade 1 Haskell. Christina.
The inside, and Rowayton. They're coming to the top of the stretch, and Chancelot turns for home in front, opening up a 2-length lead. Call Paul tries to stick with him with a furlong to run. Chancelot set down for another 1/8 of a mile, a 2.5-length lead. Call Paul, Rowayton, Mind Control, and Hog Creek Hustle on the outside. They're all coming. Chancelot's got it close to home. Mind Control, Hog Creek Hustle on the outside. They're coming to the line. Oh, it's very close. Did Chancelot hold on? Mind Control was there too. So too was Hog Creek Hustle in a dramatic finish in the Allen Jerkins. Is the leader. Mr. Z and Lee are right alongside as they round the far turn. And then it's Tapiture. Valid on the far outside is put to the whip. Liam's Map behind a wall of horses in traffic, and Red Vine too, no place to go. And Lee has emerged with the lead as they come to the top of the stretch in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. It is Lee in front, and here comes Liam's Map, and he found a way through. Can he possibly get there? Liam's Map has gone by Lee. Oh, what a race he ran today. Much the best of the Dirt Mile. Unbelievable. Liam's Map won it. Lee was second, Red Vine, and Wicked Strong. Oh, what a race that was.
You don't see it often, but an improbable victory by a 1-2 favorite. Liam's Map overcoming a nice.
Say Florida Sandy, then Big E, Allen, Slilebuck, Squirtle Squirt. Jerry Bailey now asking for a bit more from Squirtle Squirt. At the 8th pole there by 2. Left Bank is bearing down on him. Squirtle Squirt bracing for Left Bank. The diminutive Squirtle Squirt trying to hold off the oncoming Left Bank. And Left Bank got by him. Left Bank takes the lead 50 yards out to win it by a neck.
They head for home. Heroes Tribute between horses. Keats battling at the rail. Harlan's Holiday only a neck off the lead, and now he takes over the lead. It is Harlan's Holiday 3/4 of a length. Heroes Tribute races in second. Keats is back to third. Then Windsor Castle, and Harlan's Holiday is straight and strong in the Don handicap. He's 2 lengths in front. Heroes Tribute is second. They come to the wire. Here he is again. Harlan's Holiday.
For the lead now. Secret Oath now moves into second. She's Keen is dropped out of it. Gerrymander is next. Goddess of Fire's on the extreme outside. And the field is in the stretch. And it is Nest who has asked for more. And she is responding here. Nest has a 4-length lead. Secret Oath in second. Here is Nest. And she is pouring it on here in the stretch. She is at the top of her class. Nest wins the Alabama by 5 lengths. Secret Oath was second. Goddess of Fire finished third. Nest and Rod Ortiz Jr.
Horse is up to be fourth on the far outside. Classic Empire's following him as they round the far turn in the 143rd Kentucky Derby. Always Dreaming is the leader. Battle of Midway fights on between horses. Irish Warcry is there on the outside. McCracken swings wide. Classic Empire does too. And Looking at Lee cut the corner off the turn. They're racing for the final furlong. Always Dreaming digging down deep on a 2-length lead. Looking at Lee wanders off the rail. Now with 3 lengths to make up and a 16th to go. But Always Dreaming is digging down, and Always Dreaming is holding on. Looking at Lee, can't catch Always Dreaming, who's the 143rd winner of the Kentucky Derby. Looking at Lee was second. Battle of Midway was third. Classic Empire, Practical Joke, and Tappert in a photo for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Following Royal Delta around the course as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. 3/4 up in 1:10 and 2. Royal Delta, the leader. Princess of Sylmar targeting her, and here comes Princess of Sylmar, who sidles up alongside Royal Delta. So the stage is set at the top of the stretch here at Belmont Park. Royal Delta down inside, narrowly on the outside, Princess of Sylmar. There's absolutely nothing between them with 1 furlong to go, and it is Princess of Sylmar. Princess of Sylmar is in front. Royal Delta will be defeated, and it is Princess of Sylmar. It took a champion to defeat a champion today in the Beldame. Princess of Sylmar the winner by a length and a half. Royal Delta finishing second. Centering was third. The final time was 1:47 and 4. Orb is now fourth as they move toward the top of the stretch. Oxbow, the Preakness winner, down inside. Palace Malice on the outside. Orb is third, 3 lengths behind them. And then it's Revolutionary. And farther back, the filly, Unlimited Budget. They're entering the final furlong with Palace Malice to catch. Palace Malice by 2.5 lengths. And then Oxbow and Orb was sputtering late in the game. Revolutionary down inside. And they're coming down to the finish. And it will be Palace Malice. Leader is CP West. Nothing left for Slow's Tizzy. Here comes Hardspun. And Curlin is coming on, throwing between horses. And Rags to Riches is coming with a 4-wide sweep. And Tiago is in behind them. And at the top of the stretch, a filly is in front of the Belmont. But Curlin is right there with her. These two in a battle of the sexes in the Belmont Stakes. It is Curlin on the inside. Rags to Riches on the outside. A desperate finish. Rags to Riches and Curlin. They're coming down to the wire. It's going to be very close. And it's going to be a filly in the Belmont. Rags to Riches has beaten Curlin in 100 years of Belmont history. The first filly to win it in over a century.
Wow. Girl power rules the day at the Belmont. Not just the first filly in 102 years, but the first.
And now Wedding Toast begins to gain some ground to the outside of them. And Stellar Wind is coming 5 wide. Stopchargingmaria is right in at 2. And then it's Carolina and Sheer Drama. And it is wide open at the top of the stretch of the distaff. There's 5 horses across the track here. Stopchargingmaria and Stellar Wind are first up top. And then it's Yahilwa. Sheer Drama is trying to close in late. Stopchargingmaria. Stellar Wind on the outside. These two will decide the distaff. Stopchargingmaria. Stellar Wind. Stopchargingmaria has won. And then it was Stellar Wind second. And they were followed over the line by Carolina. Then came Sheer Drama and Frivolous in the Breeders' Cup distaff.
Moves up on the outside third. Forte's locked in as Mage begins to roll from the back. They race past the quarter-mile pole in the Florida Derby, and Mage got the jump on Forte as he goes to get Fort Bragg. Cyclone Mischief is fighting hard. He's still right there. Less than a quarter of a mile to come, and Cyclone Mischief, he's up for a fight and tries to turn away Mage. Forte better hurry up. Final 16th of a mile. Forte starts to gather in the top horses. Here comes Forte. This is going to be very close, but the champion prevails. Forte wins over Mage was second. Third, Cyclone Mischief. Then Mr. Ripple, Fort Bragg for the high 5. He gave you a scare, but he got it done. On to Louisville for Forte.
You and I forever as the field turns for home. It's still Quality Road. Warrior's Reward took a good run at him, but he's been left a length and a half behind. 3/4 of a mile in 1:08 and 2. And Quality Road and Johnny Velasquez hit the 8th pole, clear by 2. Musket Man's firing. Musket Man firing at Quality Road. Quality Road trying to dig down for another 100 yards. Musket Man on the outside cannot get by. Classy. Consistent, Quality Road. A dazzling Met Mile, 8 sparkling furlongs in 1:33 flat. Musket Man was second, Tisway was third.
Is taking the lead. Fierceness is moving now. Fierceness is moving now as they make their way into the far turn with 3 furlongs to go. In the meanwhile, Journalism is second to last, but he's beginning to move too. So here we go. Fierceness is the leader on the far turn, and Journalism is on the move, and he's picking up horses one by one as they come to the top of the stretch, and they're into the stretch of the Pacific Classic, and Fierceness is in front. He's got a 2-length lead, and Journalism has a furlong to run him down. Fierceness and John Velasquez still there at the 16th pole. Journalism is all out, and he's not doing enough to beat the beast from the east. Fierceness has won the Pacific Classic by 3. Journalism was second. Ultimate Gamble was third. Indispensable was fourth in the 35th. Sinclair, and the trailer is Silver State. The half was 44.94 seconds. Life is Good rounds the far turn in front. Ginobili is sent along by Drayden Van Dyke, trying to come and get him on the far turn. It's 3 lengths back to 8 rings, and Restrained Vengeance has moved up into 4th. They're into the stretch, and it's Life is Good off the turn with a 2.5 length lead. Ginobili full out in second. On the inside, 8 rings is third. They're coming past the 16th pole. It's Life is Good, and this colt is incredible. Life is Good. Won it by 6 lengths over Ginobili. Restrained Vengeance. Stripe saves ground, then Clariere. Around the far turn they go. Secret Oath has taken over the lead here. Nest comes on the attack. She's now second on the outside. Society has given way. Malathaat is making her move, and it's a 3-wide bid as they come to the top of the stretch, and they're into the stretch, and it is Secret Oath who comes into the final 3/16 in front. Blue Stripe trying to pull up an upset. Ness has to do more. Malathaat is there on the outside. Clariere is coming up the fence. Oh, there's drama in the distaff. Here comes Clariere. Blue Stripe on the outside. It's Malathaat coming to the wire. Who's it going to be? It is race of her life. Clariere was third and Next finished fourth.
Oh my goodness. We think it's Malathaat, the one, but that was, talk about maybe Todd Pletcher got his dead heat.
What an exciting finish with Clariere on the inside, the long shot, blue stripe in the middle, and Malathaat on the outside. Just watch them as they come to the wire.
Did this race live up to expectations or what? What a dramatic finish. It sure looked live like Malathaat had her nose down on the wire, but yes.
Yes.
Waiting for some running room now as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. Stellar Jane is also right there. Ella Love on the outside. Stone Flag Flying is 5 lengths from the lead. Nebraska Tornadoes dropped out of it. They're off the turn into the stretch. Tamwheel digs down. Into the breach goes Ashado. And Ashado comes away with the lead. Stone Flag Flying is in behind horses. On the outside, it's Stellar Jane coming down to the finish. Ashado in front and trying to hold on. And at the wire, it is Ashado who wins by almost 2 lengths. Storm Flag Flying came on to be second. Stellar Jane was third, and Tamwheel was fourth. So they come from just off the pace. It was a flawless ride by Johnny Velasquez. And there's Texan Todd Pletcher. He has just won his first Breeders' Cup.